Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, A Day at Home When Everything Feels Lighter. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. That morning did not start with an alarm clock or a rush to be somewhere on time. It began with a soft weight pressing gently against my leg. I opened my eyes slowly and saw my dog sitting beside the bed, his head tilted slightly, his eyes warm and patient. He wasn't barking or whining. He was simply there, waiting, as if he already knew that today did not need to be rushed. Sunlight slipped quietly through the curtains, landing on the floor in long, pale stripes. The room felt calm, almost suspended in time. I stretched, and my dog wagged his tail in response, not wildly, just enough to say, "I see you're awake." That's good enough for me. We stayed like that for a moment. No phones, no thoughts about unfinished work, just a shared silence that felt surprisingly full. When I finally got out of bed, he followed me closely, his paws making soft sounds against the floor. In the kitchen, I poured water into his bowl, and he watched every movement as if it were the most important event of the day. Breakfast was simple. Toast for me, kibble for him. Yet the simplicity made it feel special. He ate slowly, pausing now and then to look up at me, his mouth still full, as if checking whether I was enjoying my meal too. I laughed at that habit. He had always done it, and it always made me smile. After breakfast, we moved to the living room. I opened the windows, letting fresh air in. He lay down near my feet, his body relaxed, his breathing steady. Outside, the city continued its usual noise, but inside our home, everything felt lighter, quieter, softer. In that moment, I realized something small yet meaningful. Happiness did not arrive loudly. It arrived gently, in routines, in shared mornings, in the simple presence of a dog who asked for nothing more than to stay close. By afternoon, the sun had shifted, and the house felt warmer. I sat on the floor with my laptop, trying to work, but my dog had other plans. He brought me his favorite toy, a slightly worn stuffed animal with one ear missing. He dropped it at my side and looked at me expectantly. "Just 5 minutes," I said, though I already knew I wouldn't keep that promise. I tossed the toy across the room. He ran after it with a joy that felt completely honest, his tail wagging wildly now, his paws sliding slightly on the floor. When he returned, he placed the toy back in my hand, sat down, and waited again. No impatience, no demands, just hope. We played for a while until both of us were tired. He lay down on his back, exposing his belly, inviting me to rub it. I did, and he closed his eyes, fully trusting, fully present. Watching him like that, I felt my own thoughts slow down. The worries I had been carrying seemed less important, almost distant. Later, I made tea and sat by the window. He joined me, resting his head on my knee. From time to time, he would look outside, ears lifting at distant sounds, then relax again when he realized there was nothing urgent. He seemed to understand something I often forgot. Not every sound requires a reaction. Not every moment needs attention. In the quiet afternoon, I noticed how deeply he lived in the present. He did not think about yesterday or worry about tomorrow. He simply existed, fully and completely, beside me. His presence turned an ordinary afternoon into something meaningful. As the hours passed, I found myself working more calmly, thinking more clearly. Whenever I felt stressed, I would reach down and touch his fur, warm and familiar. Each time, it felt like a reminder. You're here. You're safe. This moment is enough. Evening arrived slowly, bringing softer light and longer shadows. I prepared dinner while my dog lay in the doorway between the kitchen and the living room, as if guarding the space between my tasks and my rest. Occasionally, he lifted his head when he heard the sound of chopping vegetables, then settled again. After dinner, we went for a short walk. The air was cooler, and the streets were quieter. He walked beside me, matching my pace, stopping occasionally to sniff something interesting. I let him take his time. For once, I was not in a hurry to get anywhere. Back at home, we settled on the couch. I turned on a soft light and picked up a book, though I didn't read much. My dog curled up beside me, his body pressed gently against mine. His breathing slowed, deep and peaceful. I watched him fall asleep, his ears twitching slightly, his paws moving as if he were dreaming. I wondered what his dreams were like. Maybe endless fields, familiar smells, or simply moments like this, where everything felt safe. In that quiet evening, I felt a deep sense of gratitude, not for anything extraordinary, but for the ordinary moments that had filled the day. My dog had not done anything impressive or dramatic. He had simply been himself, loyal, calm, present, and somehow, that had been enough to make the entire day feel lighter. A day like this may seem ordinary, but it carries lessons that are deeply valuable in today's fast-paced world. Living with a dog teaches us how to slow down, how to be present, and how to find joy in simple routines. Dogs do not measure life by achievements or deadlines. They measure it by moments of connection, safety, and shared presence. From my dog, I learned that attention is a gift. When we truly pay attention to our pets, to the people around us, and to ourselves, we create deeper bonds and calmer minds. I also learned patience. My dog waits without resentment and loves without conditions. These are qualities we can practice in our daily lives, especially in our relationships with others. In a time when stress and distraction are common, animals remind us of a gentler way to live. They show us that kindness does not need to be loud, and happiness does not need to be complicated. By caring for animals with respect, empathy, and responsibility, we also become better humans. If we allow ourselves to learn from them, even a simple day at home can become a meaningful lesson in compassion, balance, and love for animals, for others, and for ourselves.